And now, coming to you live from room 17, it is Mr. Tennell. Hey, everybody. So today we're going to be continuing with our division unit, and we're going to be moving on from where we were using mostly one-digit divisors, having our zeros in the quotient. Now we're going to be moving up to two-digit divisors. And we're going to be really diving deep into these because there's a lot of different things that could happen with two-digit divisors. But just starting, let's look at these two problems. In numbers 1 and 2, what we're going to find is that our quotients are answers, if you remember correctly. That's what a quotient is. It's an answer in a division problem. Our quotients are going to have 2 digits in them, okay? These are the easier version of a two-digit divisor division problem. So let me just show you what I mean. So we're going to follow the exact same steps as a normal division problem. Same with a one-digit divisor. But the thing that kind of tricks people up is we're going to take that whole divisor. So if I'm looking at number 1, I'm going to take that whole divisor, 23, and ask myself, does that go into 2? The answer to that is no way. 23 does not go into 2. So now I'm going to take my first 2 digits. Does 23 go into 27? Yes, 1 time. And then I'm just going to follow the steps. 1 times 23 is 23. 27 minus 23 is 4. Bring down my 9. 23 goes into 49? Yeah, it does. 2 times. 2 times 23 is 46. 49 minus 46 is 3. That is my remainder. Okay? The main difference is instead of taking part of my divisor, I'm taking that whole divisor, both digits of that divisor, my whole 23, and comparing it to each digit in my dividend. It doesn't go into 2. But 23 goes into 27. All right, let's look at number 2 as well. I'm going to take my whole divisor, 13, and ask myself, hey, does this divisor, 13, go into 9? No, it doesn't. Does 13 go into 98, though? Yes. It goes in 7 times. Now my steps are the same. 7 times 13 is actually 91. 98 minus 91 is 7. Bring down my 9. 13 goes into 79. You betcha, 6 times. 6 times 13 is actually 78. 79 minus 78 is 1. That 1, you guessed it, folks, is my remainder. All right? So that's really where we're at here. We're only adding a digit to our divisor, and we're still taking that divisor and asking if it goes into our dividend. If it doesn't go into just the first digit alone, you take the second digit too. Instead of just looking at 2, we're going to look at 27. Instead of just looking at 9, we're going to look at 98. Okay? Look down to our next slide at the bottom of that first page. I want you to do these 2 problems, 3 and 4. Try them out. Paying special attention for number 4, look at our dividend. We have 4 digits there. Nothing changes, though. Try 3 and 4. Pause the video. Do the work. When you're ready to check your work, press play, all right? 3, 2, 1. Pause it. All right. Check that work. For number 3, what you should have got was 12 remainder 6 as a quotient. And for number 4, we would have gotten 35 with a remainder of 12 as our quotient, okay? If you got those right, fantastic. If you got those wrong, try and figure out where you went wrong. Look at my work that's on the board there and see if you can figure out where you went wrong, all right? If it's something little, you figure it out. Keep going on with the video. If it's something massive, maybe it's time to close out and come up to the mini lesson with me. And just a reminder, remember, write this on the bottom of your sheet of notes right now. Your remainder cannot be bigger than the divisor you started with. If I'm looking at number 3 and I have a divisor of 48, well, let's say I got a remainder of 54. Guess what? My divisor can go into my dividend at least one more time. I cannot have more left over than what I'm dividing by. It can go in another time, if it is. Okay? Remember, write this down on your notes. Your remainder cannot be bigger than the divisor. All right, moving right along. But sometimes when we're doing a division problem, we don't get so lucky. And we end up having a one-digit quotient. We have a two-digit divisor, but a one-digit quotient. And that's what's going to be happening here. If we look at number 5, we have a divisor of 57. 57 doesn't go into 5, doesn't go into 55, but it does go into 550. So we're jumping right to 550. And that's daunting. That looks like a huge mountain to climb. So one thing that I would say is, in a case like this, where we're going to have a one-digit quotient, my divisor doesn't go into my hundredths place, doesn't go into my tens place, goes into my ones place. What I would do is I would estimate before I just start randomly multiplying or dividing to try and figure it out. I would definitely estimate first. So if I'm looking at 57, that's really close to 55, right? And I have to look at 550. I don't need to go too far. That's pretty close to 500. That's 550. 55 and 550, I know that if I multiplied that by 10, I'm going to get to 550. But I know that I'm only going to have a one-digit quotient, and 10 isn't going to cut it. So let's try 9. Let's try 9 and see if that works. 57 times 9 is actually 513. 550 minus 513, 37. And that is my answer. When you have a problem like this, your divisor doesn't go in for a long time, all the way until 550, 57 doesn't go in, the first thing I would do is estimate. Like, let's look at number 6. 22 and 179. 179 divided by 22. First thing I would do is I would estimate. 22, man, that's a lot like 20. And 179 is just about 180. I know if I did 20 times 9, that equals 180. But I don't know if 9 is going to be it. 22 is greater than 20. So let's try 8. And when you're estimating, you don't have to jump right up into your quotient. You can do this work on the side. But let's try 8. 8 times 22 is actually 176. My answer ends up being 8 remainder 3. All right? Let's try these a little bit. If this is sounding like rocket science to you, like this is like, whoa, Mr. Tennell, what are you talking about? Please stop the video and come up and see me, okay? Please do that for me. But if you're still hanging with me, let's try some on our own. These are questions 7 and 8. Pause the video, estimate a little bit, find me quotients for these two division problems, 476 divided by 68, 628 divided by 91. And let's try and figure this out, okay? Pause the video, do the work, press play when you want to check your work. 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, let's see how we did there. For 476 divided by 68, it actually works out really nicely. Our quotient is just 7, no remainders. What I did there was I estimated a little bit. I know that 68 rounding to the nearest tenth, that's really where we're rounding to. We're rounding to the nearest tenth. 68 rounded to the nearest tenth is 70. 476 rounded to the nearest tenth is 480. I know that 70 times 7 is 490. That's pretty close. So I decided to go with that, and that actually ended up being it. 7 is our quotient for number 7. There we go. And for number 8, 628 divided by 91. 91, I rounded to my nearest tenth, I got 90. 628, I rounded to the nearest tenth, got 630. I know 90 times 7 equals 630. But it ended up being a little bit too big. My quotient is actually 6, remainder 28. All right. I'm going to move on. If you still need a little bit more help or want to ask me a question, exit out, pause, come to me. If not, let's keep moving to area model. If you look at the area model, it's pretty much the same as with a one-digit divisor, except we're probably not going to need this hundredths block too many times. All right? Let's try two. I'll walk you through one. You'll do one on your own. Okay? So let's walk through number 9 here. 723 divided by 63. So I have 63 here on my side. 723 there. The 63 going to 723, a multiple of 100 times? No way. 63 times 100 is 6,300. No way. I move to my tens. 723. Does that go in a multiple of 10 times? You bet. It actually goes in 10 times, because that's 630. When I subtract, I get 93. My 93, you betcha, goes up here. And does that go in one time? 63 goes into 93? Exactly one time. 63. I subtract, I get 30. Remember, this is an expanded form up here. I need to add 11 remainder 30. 11 remainder 30. Make sense? All right, you try number 10. 71. Let's set up our box, our area rectangle. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. All right, pause the video. Come back and have an answer in the chat. Go, pause. All right. Answer to number 10, 7 remainder 46. My estimation is right down here. 70, 71 to the rounded to the nearest 10 is 70. 543 rounded to the nearest 10, 540. I know 70 times 7 is 490. That might be it. I figured I'd start there. And that ended up being as far as I could go. 7 times 71 is 497. 543 minus 497, 46. That's my remainder. All right, here's the point where I need you to be honest with yourselves. Do you think you know how to do this topic? Do you have a mastery of this topic? If you do, move on to your practices. If not, though, now is the time to come to me, ask me some questions, join my mini lesson, okay? Now's the time. You know what to do. All right, with another division mini lesson, this is Mr. Tennell signing off. Great job, everybody.